Hey, my name is Jim Balla. I'm the tech service guru at Buyers Products. Today's video, we will be talking about what seal kit goes on what cylinder. Over the years, we have changed from V-packing to a poly pack, and that's what we're going to describe today. And we're really what kind of tools you might need, which will be very minimal, but is it smart to just rebuild the cylinder or just replace it? And that's something we're going to talk about today. But before we get going, like, subscribe, become part of that SnowDogg family. So let's go talk about some cylinders. All right, so the first cylinder we're going to look at is for our larger plows, the lift cylinder, which is part number 1615-4200, which is right in front of me. So when we look at the cylinder itself, we have the housing where my hands are. Then we have the ram, which is the silver part. So right where the cylinder and the ram meet, in that area, again, on this one you can't see the threads, but this is called the gland nut, right on top here. Okay, so on this cylinder that we have now, they have a packing and gland nut called a poly pack. So a poly pack has a totally round outside. Then it has a hole in the center of it, about a 1/4 inch hole. And that's about right there on this one here. Now that 1/4 inch hole is made for a Spaniard wrench that you'd put on and kind of open it up. Or some people will take a punch, use a hammer and kind of unscrew it, and it should slide off. Now if you do try to slide it off, what you want to do is take a file and just where the hole is, just file around the hole, because when that pin's in there and it's going up and down, it's kind of going to mash a little bit the edges of it. So you want to file it down so you can take the gland nut off and then also put the new gland nut on. So this cylinder right here is a cylinder, and then like I said, this is April 2025. We changed these cylinders about 12 years ago. So the real old cylinders are from 12 years ago plus were all the poly packs. Now the poly packs has a wiper in it. It's made of aluminum, and there's O-rings inside of it and on the outside to represent the packing that's inside. So this part number is 1615-4206. So again, all around. Now, the older cylinders are a little different. And this is called the V-packing gland nut. So it does come with a wiper. It's made of steel. Also, it has flats all around it. So you could put a very big pipe wrench on it or a channel lock or something like that. And you can see the threads here. Okay? And there's like a little glue on there too. So when it goes in, kind of like it's Loctite, it stays in there. And this part number is a 1615-4204. Now this does not work with the polypack one, but it works with the one that has the V packing that's inside of here. Now the V packing that's inside would look like just about 9 rubber pieces. This is all packed away here. Let's open it up for a second. This is a smaller version of it, but we're just going to show you kind of what it looks like if I ever open up this bag. So it has a bunch of little seals in it that you'd put in the same way you would take them out. So to kind of wrap this up a little bit, Polypack has an aluminum gland nut with the seals in it, and that's all you need. The V-packing comes with a steel, and you'll know the difference, steel with flats on it, and then you also need the V-packing that goes inside of the cylinder. Now let's go to an angle cylinder now. So I got the angle cylinder out of the box, and this part number here is, let me just look here, 1615 4100 is for the HDEX. It's an 1.5 inch cylinder, which an 1.5 inch right here, the cylinder that's coming out, by 10 inches, I think. Up by 12 inches. That's how long this cylinder right here is, 12 inches. So, again, we talked about it on the lift cylinder. Same thing, we have our housing, and then we have our ram that comes out. Okay? Now this one's a little different because it's 1.5 inch. The lift cylinder was 2 inches, so it does take a new one. But same thing goes, we did change the packing and the gland nut about, I said, 12 years ago. So same thing, we have a hole in the side, and I said it's screwed all the way down. It's totally round, no flats. So for this cylinder here, the 4100, if it's round all the way, and here it is, O-ring on the outside, threads, made of aluminum, black, anodized. So it's in black shape. This is part number 16154216. This is what would go on this because it matches up, like I said, with the hole on here. Again, use a pin, knock it around, or a spanner wrench that you put on here and loosen it up. Now, if your angle cylinder is older than possibly 10 to 12 years, we'll put this aside. What they used to use is a steel gland nut. Again, just like the lift cylinder, the steel gland nut has flats on it to put a wrench. Okay, it weighs twice as much. It's got it made of steel. It comes with a wiper. Okay, again, flats on it, and then it'll go on here, and you know the big difference. Also, with the steel gland nut that has flats on it, to replace the packing in it, you would need the V packing for this. And that would go in there. Again, it goes in the same way you take the old ones out. Now, the old ones are going to be disformed and everything, but you just follow how they're put on. They said the first one is kind of like a V, that they actually shape like a V all the way to the top. So that will come with it. Now, the V packing for this cylinder is 16154212. Again, it comes with the packing here and then a little wiper, a little extra wiper for you. So that's what comes in that for the 1.5 inch single acting angle cylinder. Now let's look at the lift cylinder for the MDMX VMX plow. All right, so the next cylinder we're going to do is our MDMX VMX lift cylinder, which is part number 1615. Look over here, 4220. Again, same as all the other cylinders. Anything that's 1.5 inch cylinder that's coming out the ram, which is the silver part coming out of the cylinder, black part, is going to be the same. So again, we're looking at the new one. Has a hole in the side, which means it's a poly pack. Again, these are 1.5 inch. So the part number you'll need on this one, and that's the only thing you need, is the gland nut, 16154216. So this is one you'll need on this. Again, it's all round with a hole in the side. Spanner wrench, pin, knock it around, loosen it. Again, clean the ram off where the hole is with a file. Make sure it's smooth, oil it up, slide it back on. Okay, now if it's a little bit older, what we need is, we look at it, okay, there's some flats on it. And I always say, hey, look where the cylinder ends and the ram comes out, that gland nut. The term we're going to use a lot here, gland nut. Does it have flats on it? Just like this one here. The 16154214 has flats on it. Got some threads. Again, it's made of steel, not aluminum. A little heavier, but you need this if you mess it up. But the packing that goes inside of this is part number 16, 15, 42, 12. Again, a lot of 16, 15s, but you just got to break it down, and we will below here coming up where you need the V packing with the steel gland nut. So V packing with the steel gland nut, and then with the poly gland nut, you need nothing else. Everything comes with it. So there you go with that cylinder. Now let's hit a couple larger cylinders that are 2-inch and some double acting cylinders and what we have to replace. But the key here is when you're replacing the cylinder or replacing the packing, think about it where we recommend always just replacing the cylinder. This way you're getting a part that's guaranteed for a little bit and it's not labor intense. You cut two cotter pins off, remove 2 pins, and you put 2 pins in, and you're ready to go. So let's talk about the angle cylinders on the larger plows. All right, so our next cylinder, again, all these are very common. This is the angle cylinder, part number 1615 4120, and it's for the MD plow, single acting, MD MX. That's it. The only difference between this cylinder and our other straight cylinder angle cylinders is the EX HDs, larger ones are 12 inches, and these are 10 inches long. So really, it's 10 inches from here to here. The other ones are 12 inches. So same concept. We talked about the packing on this. Poly pack, it's round. It's part number 16, 15, 42, 16. Just for that, it has everything involved in it. You know, all the seals. And then if it's an older angle cylinder that has flats on it, you're going to need the gland nut 16, 15, 42, 14. And then the V packing for that is the 16, 15, 42, 12. And that's all for this one. Now we're going to get into our last angle cylinder. And again, the only difference is it's 2 inches in, instead of 1 inch here, it's 2 inches. So let's get to that one. All right, so the last cylinder we're going to do is our double acting 1.5 inch cylinder. Like all the other cylinders before, the gland nut's going to be the same. Now on these double acting cylinders, they are all, well, it's a poly pack because you do have a hole in it, but you still have flats on it. So it is a poly pack gland nut. But the packing that you'll need is it's a 16, 15, 4302. Oh, and the cylinder, which I forgot to tell you, is a 16, 15, 4300, B as in boy. But you'll need this packing. And it comes with packing and some O-rings, some gland nuts, and stuff like that. There's a bunch of stuff in here that you actually have to put inside here, and then put your packing nut back on. Okay. As you see, it's called double acting because you have a port right here, and then in the back you have a port on 3 sides that in case you have to turn the cylinder, you still can use that. So like every other cylinder that we talked about today, it's all about flats or round, and that's how you know which one you have. You know, thanks for watching this video. Again, if you have any questions, check out our website. Give us a call. Again, make sure you check our YouTube channel, subscribe, like. Please become part of that SnowDogg family and go buy a dog and go chase a storm.